A woman can reach 60, raise a family, survive loss, carry responsibilities, and still feel as though she needs permission to rest. She may sit down with a cup of tea, only to get up the moment the phone rings. She may agree to another family obligation, even though she is already exhausted. She may want to spend a little money on herself, take a short trip, or enjoy an afternoon alone, yet feel guilty before she has even made the decision. From the outside, she appears strong, generous, and dependable. Inside, however, she may be quietly asking, "When will my life finally belong to me?" Age does not automatically bring peace. Sometimes the habits that once helped a woman care for her family continue long after they have stopped serving her. She keeps explaining herself. She carries relationships that no one else is helping to maintain. She solves problems that belong to other adults. She hides her exhaustion and postpones the things she wants because someone else is not ready. None of these habits makes her weak. Most were built from love, loyalty, duty, and years of being the person everyone could depend on. But even a beautiful quality can become a burden when it leaves no room for the woman carrying it. Protecting your peace does not mean becoming cold, selfish, or unavailable. It means recognizing that your time, energy, and emotional well-being matter too. It means caring for others without abandoning yourself in the process. In this video, we will explore 7 things women over 60 may need to stop doing, not to push people away, but to create a calmer and more honest life. And the final one may be the most important, because every year spent waiting is a year that cannot be returned. Number 7. Stop explaining every decision you make. You receive an invitation to a family dinner, but you have had a tiring week and want a quiet evening at home. Instead of simply declining, you begin building a case for your absence. You describe how poorly you slept, list everything you have done that week, and explain why you need to rest. Even after the conversation ends, you wonder whether your reason sounded convincing enough. Many women have learned to soften every no with a long explanation. They are not trying to be dishonest. They are trying to prevent disappointment, criticism, or conflict. After decades of being expected to accommodate others, a simple decision can feel like something that must be defended. But when you repeatedly justify reasonable choices, you quietly teach other people that your decisions are open for negotiation. The more reasons you provide, the more opportunities they have to challenge each one. You can rest tomorrow. You don't have to stay long. Everyone else is making the effort. Before you realize it, the conversation is no longer about informing someone of your decision. It has become an argument about whether you are allowed to make it. This does not mean ignoring the feelings of people you love. There are times when an explanation is thoughtful and necessary, especially when your choice directly affects someone else. But explaining every preference, boundary, purchase, or use of your own time is different. You are allowed to make ordinary decisions without presenting evidence in your defense. The next time you feel yourself preparing a long justification, pause and ask whether the other person truly needs more information or whether you are simply afraid they may disapprove. Then try a shorter response. "I won't be able to come this time. That doesn't work for me. I've decided to stay home tonight." Say it kindly, without anger, and without adding 5 apologies afterward. Someone may still feel disappointed. Their disappointment does not automatically mean you have done something wrong. At first, speaking this way may feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is not proof that you are being selfish. It may simply be the feeling of replacing an old habit with a healthier one. Your life does not need to become a courtroom in which every personal choice must be defended. A calm decision can remain a calm decision, even when someone else would have chosen differently. Number 6, stop being the only one who keeps a relationship alive. There may be someone in your life you have known for many years. You remember birthdays, send messages after medical appointments, suggest meeting for lunch, and call whenever too much time has passed. The conversations may still feel pleasant, but one detail becomes increasingly difficult to ignore. If you do not reach out, nothing happens. Weeks can pass without a call. Plans are made only when you organize them. The relationship appears close, yet almost all its movement comes from you. It is natural to make an effort for people you care about. Every relationship goes through uneven periods. A friend may be grieving, caring for a spouse, struggling with illness, or simply overwhelmed. Keeping score after every phone call would make genuine affection feel like a business transaction. But a temporary imbalance is different from a permanent pattern. When you spend years carrying a relationship alone, you may begin confusing history with closeness. You tell yourself that this person cares, but is just not good at keeping in touch. Perhaps that is true. Still, their intentions do not change the emotional cost to you. Being the only person who remembers, initiates, and repairs can slowly turn affection into obligation. The answer is not to disappear suddenly or use silence as a test. You do not need to punish anyone or post indirect messages hoping they notice. Simply stop doing all the work. Leave some space after the next conversation. Allow the other person an opportunity to call, suggest a plan, or show interest in your life. Then observe what happens without inventing excuses for them or immediately filling the silence yourself. Some people may surprise you. They may reach out when given the chance. Others may remain distant, revealing that the relationship was being sustained more by your effort than by mutual connection. That realization can hurt, especially when the relationship has lasted for decades. But clarity, even painful clarity, protects your peace better than repeatedly chasing signs that you matter. You do not have to end every uneven relationship. You can change its place in your life. A close friend may become an occasional acquaintance. A weekly call may become a monthly one. You can care about someone without making yourself responsible for maintaining the entire bond. Save your deepest energy for relationships in which care travels in both directions. You deserve connections where your absence is noticed, your presence is valued, and reaching out is not always your job. Number 5. Stop solving every problem for your adult children. Your adult son calls because he is behind on a payment. Your daughter is overwhelmed by a conflict at work. A grandchild needs something at the last minute, and once again, the family assumes you will rearrange your day, open your wallet, or find the solution. Before the conversation is over, your mind is already working. Who can you call? What can you cancel? How much can you afford to give? You may even feel more anxious about the problem than the person who brought it to you. This response often comes from love. For many years, protecting your children was part of being a good mother. When they were young, they truly needed you to notice danger, make decisions, and fix what they could not handle. But the role that was necessary then can become exhausting when it continues unchanged into their adulthood. Listening to your children is not the same as taking responsibility for every difficulty they face. When you repeatedly rescue them from uncomfortable consequences, you may unintentionally prevent them from developing confidence, judgment, and resilience. Meanwhile, your own peace becomes dependent on whether their lives are running smoothly, something you can never fully control. Stepping back does not mean becoming indifferent. It means changing the kind of support you provide. The next time an adult child brings you a problem, resist the urge to immediately offer money, make calls, or give instructions. Listen first, then ask, "What do you think you're going to do?" That question communicates two things at once. I care about what you are facing, and I believe you are capable of handling your life. There may still be moments when practical help is appropriate. Families support one another, especially during illness, loss, or a genuine emergency. But help should be a conscious choice, not an automatic reaction driven by guilt or fear. Before saying yes, consider whether the request is truly urgent, whether helping will create financial or emotional strain for you, and whether the same problem has occurred repeatedly because someone else expects you to absorb the consequences. You can say, "I can listen, but I can't solve this for you." You can offer a limited amount of help instead of taking over the entire situation. You can also say no without withdrawing your love. Your children may not always appreciate the change immediately, but allowing them to carry their own responsibilities is not abandonment. It is respect for their adulthood and protection for the life you still have the right to live. Number 4. Stop feeling guilty for spending time and money on yourself. You can buy something for your children or grandchildren without thinking twice, but when you see a coat you like, consider joining a class or imagine taking a short trip, hesitation appears. Do I really need it? Should I save that money for the family? What will they think if I spend this much on myself? You may leave without buying anything, then spend the same amount helping someone else a few days later. Generosity feels natural. Receiving something from your own hands does not. Many women were taught that a good mother, wife, or grandmother puts herself last. For decades, money went towards school expenses, household bills, emergencies, celebrations, and other people's needs. Time was treated in much the same way. Everyone else's appointments were essential, while personal interests could always wait. Those habits may have helped your family through important years, but sacrifice can become so familiar that even ordinary pleasure begins to feel irresponsible. There is nothing wrong with being thoughtful about money. After 60, financial decisions may require particular care. Retirement income, housing costs, medical expenses, and future security are real concerns. Protecting your peace does not mean spending recklessly or ignoring the responsibilities you still have. It means recognizing the difference between financial wisdom and automatic self-denial. If an expense is affordable, does not threaten your essential needs, and brings genuine value to your life, choosing it is not a moral failure. A comfortable meal, a book, fresh flowers, a class, or a visit to somewhere you have always wanted to see does not make you selfish. Your life is also one of the lives your resources are meant to support. The same principle applies to time. An afternoon spent reading, walking, gardening, or doing absolutely nothing does not need to be earned through exhaustion. Rest is not a reward reserved for the moment when everyone else has stopped needing you. That moment may never come. Consider setting aside a small amount of money and time specifically for yourself. Keep it within your means, but treat it as a legitimate part of your life rather than whatever remains after everyone else has taken their share. You do not have to announce or defend every choice. You also do not need to make a dramatic purchase to prove that you are finally choosing yourself. Start with something modest and meaningful. The goal is not to become less generous. It is to include yourself among the people worthy of your generosity. After years of giving care, attention, and resources to others, you are allowed to experience some of the life you worked so hard to build. Number 3. Stop holding on to relationships just because they are old. You meet someone you have known for decades. Perhaps she is an old friend, a relative, or a person who once played an important role in your life. You share memories, familiar stories, and a history that would take years to explain to anyone else. Yet after every conversation, you feel smaller. She dismisses what matters to you, criticizes your choices, turns every discussion back to herself, or makes jokes at your expense. You leave the meeting tired and unsettled. Still, you continue arranging the next one because the relationship has existed for so long. History can create loyalty, but time alone does not make a relationship healthy. People change. Sometimes they grow closer. Sometimes they move in different directions. A relationship that once brought comfort can later become a source of tension. Admitting that does not erase the good years or mean those memories were false. It simply means the relationship no longer functions as it once did. Many women remain in draining relationships because leaving feels cruel or ungrateful. They may also fear loneliness. An unsatisfying connection can seem safer than an empty space, especially when meeting new people feels difficult. But keeping someone close only because they have always been there can cost more than you realize. You begin preparing emotionally before each conversation. You censor yourself to avoid criticism. You tolerate behavior you would never accept from someone new. Over time, the relationship occupies not only your schedule, but also your thoughts long after the person has gone. Not every difficult relationship needs to end. Some can improve through an honest conversation or a clearer boundary. Others may simply need a different place in your life. You can shorten the visit, you can stop discussing subjects that are repeatedly used against you, you can meet less often or choose a group setting instead of spending time alone together. Distance does not always require anger, accusations, or a dramatic farewell. After spending time with someone, notice how you feel. Do you feel respected and able to be yourself, or do you feel relieved when the interaction is finally over? One unpleasant afternoon does not define an entire relationship. Look for the pattern. You are allowed to appreciate what someone once meant to you without giving them unlimited access to your present life. Some relationships belong in your memories more comfortably than they belong in your daily routine. Letting a connection change is not a betrayal of the past. Sometimes it is simply an honest response to the person you have become. Number 2. Stop saying "I'm fine" when you are exhausted. Someone asks how you are doing, and the answer comes automatically. "I'm fine." You say it while carrying groceries into the house. You say it after spending the day helping a family member. You say it when another request arrives, even though your body is tired and your mind has had no quiet for days. Perhaps you do not want anyone to worry. Perhaps you believe other people have more serious problems. Or maybe you have spent so many years being the dependable one that admitting exhaustion now feels like failing at a role everyone expects you to play. Strength can become a lonely identity when it leaves no room for honesty. The people around you may genuinely believe you are fine because that is what you continue telling them. They cannot respect a limit they do not know exists. They may keep asking for help, not because they intend to take advantage of you, but because you have never shown them what their requests are costing you. Then resentment begins to grow. You wonder why no one notices your fatigue or offers to help, but you have become so skilled at hiding your needs that others see only the capable woman who always manages. Being honest does not require sharing every private feeling or turning every conversation into a complaint. It simply means describing your condition clearly enough for others to understand what you can and cannot give. Instead of saying "I'm fine," you might say, "I'm more tired than usual today, so I need to rest. I can help tomorrow, but I can't do it tonight. I'm having a difficult week, and I could use some support." These statements are not accusations. They do not blame anyone or demand that others solve everything for you. They give the people who care about you a fair opportunity to respond. Some may be surprised when you begin speaking honestly. A few may even resist because they benefited from your constant availability. Their discomfort does not make your need for rest unreasonable. Begin with one truthful sentence. Ask someone else to handle one task. Allow a phone call to wait until you have the energy to answer. Let the house remain imperfect for an evening. You do not have to collapse before your exhaustion becomes legitimate. You do not need to prove how much you can endure. Peace becomes possible when the life you show others is closer to the life you are actually experiencing. Saying that you are tired does not make you weak. It makes your relationships more honest and gives your body and mind the care they have been quietly requesting. And number 1, stop postponing your life while waiting for someone else. There may be something you have wanted to do for years. You want to visit a place you have never seen, take a class, attend a concert, eat at a particular restaurant, or simply spend a peaceful day somewhere new. You mention it to your husband, a friend, or one of your children. They sound interested but never choose a date. So you wait. You tell yourself the experience will be better with company. Next month becomes next season. Another year passes, and the plan remains something you talk about rather than something you have lived. Wanting companionship is natural. Many experiences are richer when shared with someone we love. There are also situations in which traveling or trying something new alone may not feel practical or safe. But Companionship becomes a quiet form of permission when another person's availability determines whether your life can move forward. Sometimes waiting protects you from more than loneliness, it protects you from uncertainty. Going alone may mean entering an unfamiliar room, making a decision without reassurance, or being seen by others without a companion beside you. Staying home feels easier, even when it leaves you disappointed. After 60, time deserves to be treated honestly. This does not mean living in fear or rushing through a list of experiences. It means accepting that the years ahead are valuable precisely because they are not unlimited. A plan postponed repeatedly can eventually become an opportunity that is no longer available. You do not need to begin with a distant journey. Choose one small thing you have delayed because no one else was ready. Visit a nearby garden, attend a morning class, have lunch in a cafe you have always noticed. Take a familiar walk at a different time of day. Make the first experience easy, safe, and manageable. Tell someone where you are going if appropriate. Arrange transportation in advance, and give yourself permission to leave early if you feel uncomfortable. You may discover that being alone in public is not the same as being lonely. There can be freedom in moving at your own pace, changing your mind, and noticing what you enjoy without adjusting every choice to someone else's preferences. Continue inviting people into your life. Welcome companionship when it is offered sincerely, but stop placing your entire future on hold while waiting for another person to become ready. The life you want does not have to begin with a dramatic act of courage. It may begin with a date written on a calendar and a promise to yourself that this time, whether someone joins you or not, you will go. Choosing yourself after 60 does not mean turning away from the people you love. It does not mean becoming cold, refusing every request, or placing your needs above everyone else's in every situation. It means no longer treating yourself as the least important person in your own life. You can love your adult children without carrying every consequence for them. You can value an old friendship while accepting that it may need more distance. You can be generous without giving until resentment replaces affection. And you can tell the truth about your exhaustion before your body forces you to stop. Some people may need time to adjust when you begin setting boundaries. They have known the version of you who always explained, always answered, and always made herself available. Their discomfort does not necessarily mean you are doing something wrong. Change can feel unfamiliar even when it is healthy. You do not need to transform your entire life overnight. Choose one small place where your peace has been quietly disappearing. Give a shorter answer. Decline one request you cannot comfortably carry. Spend one afternoon as you wish, or finally place a date beside something you have postponed. A peaceful life is not a life without responsibility, disagreement, or disappointment. It is a life in which your choices reflect what you value, not only what other people expect. You have spent many years being someone others could depend on. You are still allowed to be loving and dependable. But from this point forward, let yourself become someone you can depend on too. Which of these 7 habits has been the hardest for you to let go of? Share your experience in the comments. Your words may help another woman realize that she is not alone in what she has been carrying. If this reflection brought you comfort or helped you see your life differently, please subscribe to Longevity Harbor. This is a place for quiet, honest conversations about relationships, self-respect, and finding greater peace after 60. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until we meet again, remember, choosing yourself does not mean loving others less. It means finally including yourself in the love you so freely give.